What if your greatest failure could become your greatest teacher? Before Henry Ford built an empire that transformed the automobile industry, he was a man struggling with broken ideas and bankrupt businesses. Twice, Ford's dreams collapsed, forcing him to start over. But these failures didn't destroy him. They shaped him into one of the smartest and most innovative minds of his time. In this video, we'll uncover how Ford turned financial ruin into wisdom, how the lessons of bankruptcy helped him revolutionize manufacturing, and how his relentless determination changed not only his own destiny, but also the world of industry forever. Henry Ford was born in 1863 on a small farm in Dearborn, Michigan. Life was tough, and hard labor was part of daily life. From a young age, Ford disliked farming and preferred mechanical tasks, often spending hours fixing tools rather than working in the fields. His upbringing instilled a strong work ethic, but he always knew his future lay elsewhere. Ford's early exposure to machinery, like the steam engines used on farms, sparked a fascination with engineering. Growing up in a world where everything was done by hand inspired him to dream of creating machines that would make life easier for everyone. While other children played, young Henry Ford spent his time dismantling and repairing clocks and watches for neighbors. His curiosity for how things worked was unmatched. By his teenage years, he was already considered the go mechanic in his community. At 16, Ford left home for Detroit to work as an apprentice machinist. There, he learned how engines and industrial machines worked, sharpening his technical skills. This passion for mechanics wasn't just a hobby, it was his calling. Ford's early mechanical experiments gave him the foundation he would later need to design one of the most revolutionary vehicles in history. In 1896, after years of experimenting with engines, Ford built his first gasoline-powered vehicle, the quadricycle. It was a simple machine, with 4 bicycle wheels and a small engine, but it represented a breakthrough in his career. The quadricycle wasn't perfect, but it proved Ford's ability to turn ideas into reality. While others doubted that cars would ever replace horses, Ford saw a future where automobiles were common and accessible. The success of the quadricycle gave him the confidence to pursue the automobile industry, even though his journey would soon be marked by failure and financial struggle. Ford's first attempt at running an automobile company ended in disaster. In 1899, he co-founded the Detroit Automobile Company, but the business quickly failed. The cars were expensive to build, unreliable, and overpriced, leading to poor sales. Investors lost faith, and the company went bankrupt after just 2 years. For Ford, this was a crushing blow. He had brilliant ideas for car design, but lacked the knowledge of cost management and large-scale production. Yet, this failure became his first big lesson. Great products aren't enough. You need efficiency, affordability, and a vision that aligns with the customer's needs. Instead of giving up after the failure of the Detroit Automobile Company, Ford analyzed what went wrong. He realized that success required more than engineering talent. It required understanding business fundamentals. He studied how to cut costs, improve reliability, and build cars that people could afford. Ford also recognized the importance of controlling the entire production process, from design to delivery. This mindset shift would later allow him to revolutionize manufacturing. Failure, in Ford's eyes, was simply a stepping stone. He once said, "Failure is simply the opportunity to begin again, this time more intelligently." And that's exactly what he did. In 1901, Ford launched his second company, the Henry Ford Company, but this venture also ended in failure. Disagreements with investors about his obsession with perfecting car designs led to his departure. The company was reorganized into Cadillac after Ford left, a painful reminder of what he had lost. However, Ford didn't see this as defeat. He took it as a lesson on the importance of maintaining control over his vision and avoiding investors who didn't share his long-term goals. This second failure taught him to combine his engineering brilliance with sharper business strategies. In 1903, Ford tried again, this time with a clearer vision and stronger determination. With an investment of $28,000 from partners, he founded the Ford Motor Company. Unlike his previous ventures, Ford focused on building affordable cars for the average person, not just the wealthy. The company started small, but Ford's vision was revolutionary. He wanted to make cars that were simple, reliable, and cheap enough for ordinary families. This shift in mindset marked the turning point in his career. Ford finally understood the balance between innovation, cost, and practicality that would make him an industry leader. In 1908, Ford introduced the Model T, a car that would change history. It was affordable, durable, and easy to maintain, making car ownership possible for the average working-class family. The Model T wasn't just a vehicle, it was a symbol of progress and freedom. Ford's ability to create a car that appealed to millions came directly from the lessons of his early failures. Instead of over-engineering cars for elites, he focused on mass production and practicality. The Model T sold over 15 million units and turned Ford Motor Company into one of the most powerful businesses in America. One of Ford's greatest innovations wasn't a car, it was the moving assembly line. Introduced in 1913, this manufacturing method cut production time for a Model T from 12 hours to just 90 minutes. This efficiency allowed Ford to reduce prices, pay workers higher wages, and dominate the automobile industry. The assembly line was a direct result of Ford's desire to cut costs and avoid the financial mismanagement that led to his earlier failures. It was this focus on efficiency and scale that transformed Ford from an ambitious inventor into a financial and industrial genius. By the 1920s, Henry Ford had turned his company into a financial powerhouse. His strategy was simple but effective: build high-quality cars at low prices, pay workers enough to afford the products they made, and reinvest profits into innovation. Ford's success wasn't just about cars. It was about creating a sustainable business model that could withstand economic challenges. He understood the importance of balancing affordability with profitability, a lesson he had learned the hard way from his bankruptcies. Ford's financial genius lay in his ability to think long-term while keeping costs under control. Ford believed that true success comes from serving the masses, not just the elite. His goal wasn't to build luxury cars for the wealthy, but to create practical, affordable vehicles that everyone could own. This philosophy set him apart from competitors and made him a pioneer in consumer-focused business. Ford's bankruptcies had taught him that a product must solve real problems for real people if it's going to succeed. This principle, combined with his relentless focus on efficiency, helped him build a legacy that still influences modern business and manufacturing today. Henry Ford's early bankruptcies were not failures, they were stepping stones to greatness. Each misstep taught him valuable lessons about cost management, scalability, and understanding customers. Instead of giving up, he adapted, improved, and built a system that changed the world. Ford's journey reminds us that success isn't about avoiding mistakes, it's about learning from them and coming back stronger. His story is proof that failure can be the greatest teacher, turning ambitious dreamers into unstoppable innovators. Without those tough early years, Ford might never have become the financial genius we remember today. Henry Ford's story proves that success isn't defined by how you start, it's defined by how you recover. His bankruptcies didn't ruin him, they sharpened him. They forced him to think smarter, innovate faster, and focus on what truly matters: building products that change lives. The man who once faced financial ruin became one of the greatest business minds of all time, shaping not only the auto industry but modern manufacturing as we know it. If Ford's story inspired you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Behind the Glory for more stories of icons who turned failure into fortune.